So Hello everybody, welcome in here at Ghost Racing Network. It is the Hell for Leather All-Star Race, the last race rounding out this season, and it is here at the famous Bristol Motor Speedway. The Last Great Colosseum is what many call it, and it's going to be a little different tonight, something that I have not seen before. These guys are in the Legends cars, and it almost, from what I saw in practice, kind of looks, I guess if you will, like a mini Daytona here. Drivers currently in the warm-up right now, everybody getting some last-minute adjustments. And as I noted, with this being the last race of the season, we have already crowned ourselves a championship, and that is going to be Matthew Boniface. Let's see if we can dial him up here in the booth real quick, get a few words with him, as it looks like he is not currently out in warm-up, sitting in pits, getting ready to go. Give me 1 second here. All right, Matthew, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hear you.
All right, well, you're this is season 3, I believe, champ. I heard you had 7 wins on the season. Tell us a little bit about your journey to get here and how it feels to get that championship.
It feels amazing. It's been pretty good this season. I've been able to race clean and finish up front most races. It's been awesome.
Well, tonight's going to be a little something different here at Bristol. I mean, you were out there practicing a little bit with these guys. Is it kind of like Daytona? Is it going to be where you're going to have to push guys, and is there really any outside lane to work with, or is it just trying to get under guys?
I don't know. This track's kind of like pack racing for Legends, so everyone's probably going to be running in a big pack. I don't know how fast the outside lane is going to be. Hopefully, it'll be fast to have some good racing.
Well, pack racing is what's going to make this race exciting. Well, I'll tell you what, we are going to let you go so you can get back to it as we get ready to start. But thank you for talking to us, and good luck. Go get a win tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that is your season champ, Matthew Boniface. We'll see if he can get another win tonight. Like I said, we'll note him throughout the night. He is currently not out right now, but we should be getting just about ready here to wrap up warm-up. It was 5 minutes. In fact, we'll pull up the timer there for you and the scoring tower, and you see it there. These guys do have just over 2 minutes left, and you know, I didn't really realize exactly what it was until Matthew just kind of said it there, and I kind of noticed it here as the warm-ups were going on. Sure enough, this kind of does look like going to be some pack racing for these Legends cars, and this is exciting. I haven't seen this before. These guys are going to be trying. So I guess if it's, I'm really curious to see. We didn't see much of it in practice, but if these guys think about trying any bump drafting, and there he is, your season champ, Matthew Boniface, getting on track now. About 1 minute and 50 seconds left, and right now it looks like the fastest lap, top spot on the board, is going to go to Just Fish, as all he has for his name. I see a couple of these pretty fun. I see there's just Jack, so some of these guys do not have a last name, but we'll see how it all pans out. I'll tell you what, while we are sitting here on warm-up 2, let's talk about your race info so that we don't have to worry about it once we get into the race. Bringing up that race info, we are at the Last Great Colosseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. It is going to be the HFL All-Star Race, the Hell for Leather Legend Series, and the cars, of course, are the Legends. The race tonight is going to be 75 laps with 100% fuel. These guys are going to all have 3 tire sets, so there will be some pit stops. Be interesting to see how those pan out here. 2 faster pairs, so these guys, if they get in a couple wrecks, they'll still have a chance to get that car fixed, and they are on fixed setups. However, it is a custom setup, so they should be able to go a little faster. Getting a little bit more into the track, it is a half-mile high-banked short track. Temperature on the track right now is 110 degrees Fahrenheit, it looks like, which is pretty slippery. These guys don't think they'll have to deal with handling those. I don't think they're going fast enough for it to matter. Should be full throttle for the whole night. 71 degrees outside, partly cloudy skies, and wind only 2 miles an hour. Not going to be a factor as well. And 30 seconds left here in warm-up, so we are now officially just getting ready to wrap it up. We thank you for everybody that is tuning in. Looks like we've had a decent amount of people out here chatting. Looks like we had John say thank you for the broadcast. Absolutely, man. Glad that you are enjoying it. Ian Miller says, go Jesse. Stephanie Miller says, hi, all here to cheer for my man Jesse Fox. Michael Peter says, love that dude. And Michael Peter says, Fish, one of the fan favorites. So it seems like we are going to have some storylines that will be made throughout this race. Again, this is my first race here commentating the Hell for Leather series, so work with me just a little bit. Appreciate these guys bringing me on board, and I think it's going to be an exciting race here tonight. It is looking like it is a day race. I thought maybe they'd do a night race, but either way, here we go. That is going to wrap up the warm-up. White flag in the air, and we are going to take a quick break so we can get you down track set for the starting grid. Stick with us. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway, and I must have jinxed it because sure enough, now it is nighttime, which is where the race is going to take place. You can see it there on the side of your screen. Looks like it is 8 o'clock, I do believe, outside right now. Maybe 9 o'clock. Either way, it's nighttime, and let's get into your starting grid. Starting on the pole tonight here at Bristol is going to be Chris Franz to his outside. Matthew Boniface third is going to be Eric Sellers with Ron Morse Jr. starting to his outside. Row 3 will be Jack and Dakota Bro. 7th is going to be Timmy Martin. And that looks like, I believe, Dominic Rossi. Again, some of these guys haven't seen before, so I do apologize if I messed the names up at all. Moving back tonight, it's going to be Hunter Terpestra. 10th, Jesse Fox. 11th, Ron Blackwell. 12th is going to be Fish. And hopefully these guys go ahead and do another warm-up lap. It looks like they are good because we need a little more time. 13th is going to be John Barry with Herschel. Looks like Herschel Lawrence to his outside in 14th. 15th, Mark Smith. 16th, Douglas Fisher. And the last car in the field tonight. And 17th is going to be Patrick Pruitt. Pace truck is rolling around, so these guys will be taking the green flag this time. And it will be interesting to see if the guys that are sitting further back can make their way to the front. And if we're going to see potentially blocking up here in the front, how early with 2 fast pairs, I feel like you can be pretty aggressive. But it is going to be a 75 lap affair tonight to decide it all. And Chris Franz is ready to lead him to it. Matthew Boniface, season champ, starts to his outside. Ron Morse Jr., I look to see him be fast as well here tonight. But here we go. Coming into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out here at Bristol. Pretty even start. Oh, we already got one turned around, and that is going to be your champion, Matthew Boniface. Oh, we got a couple hitting the wall hard. Caution is out just as quick as the green flag came out. We got one flipping back here. Oh my goodness, that is going to be, I believe that's Herschel Lawrence. Sure enough, it is in the 46. And he gets back down on all 4, but that is going to be his first faster pair of the night. And that is certainly quite a good thing that these guys have too. In fact, the whole engine cover is off that thing. And that was a quick caution. Looked like Matthew Boniface had tried to slide down in line. He maybe just wasn't quite clear, but let's go take a look at it. Go up here to Matthew Boniface, who might have to use a fast pair as well. You see it already got turned at this point. This is going into turn 1. You see he's going to try to slide down right in front of that 97. He's not quite clear. And the chaos ensues after that. And that 97, by the way, was Eric Sellers. We'll take a couple more shots of this here. And, oh man, just slight contact. Turns around, then the rest of these guys, unfortunately, not quite able to get checked up in time. Boom. Wow. Holy moly. Somebody came flying in there. Herschel Lawrence. Looked like he never got time to let off. And there's not really anywhere to run or hide here at Bristol. So I guess you can't really fault a lot of these guys for it. One final view of it. And let's ride on board this time with Herschel Lawrence because he went for a wild, wild flip here on lap 1. And actually, kind of had forgot about this. You kind of noticed there that it wasn't so much that he didn't let off. He couldn't see. You saw where the post, part of the roll bar of the car, the frame, or not the frame of the car, but just the general chassis, if you will. It was kind of blocking his view there, though. And he couldn't actually see until he got close enough to the point where it was too late to let off. He tried to get out of it, but just couldn't quite check up in time. And as we go back live, let's check in on your top 5 after that first caution. Chris Franz is going to remain out front. Ron Morse Jr. now moves up to 2nd. Dakota Bro is going to be 3rd. And it's going to be Dominic Rossi 4th. Hunter Terpstra is going to be rounding out the top 5 in that 121 car. A lot of these guys are already making up positions. We've got a couple drivers up 7 spots where they started. Mark Smith is going to be one of those drivers in the 17 machine. But here we go. We are getting ready to go. Once we see the 1 to go signal, which it looks like we do get this time, that means we will be going back green. And if we look a little farther back here, it looks like Matthew Boniface did take a faster pair. So did Herschel Lawrence. Jack is back here. So is Ron Blackwell. Timmy Martin, Eric Sellers, Patrick Pruitt, Douglas Fisher, all guys that are 10th on back right now. And I'll tell you who's having a pretty good run so far. That's Jesse Fox up here in 8th. Up 2 spots from where he started, but we still got a long ways to go. 75 laps in general isn't that long around Bristol, but these legends are not going quite as fast as they would be in the trucks, etc. Oh, looks like, do we have an issue further back here potentially? No, it looks like that was something else. Here we go. Green flag is back in the air. And a couple little checkups up front. But this restart looking a lot cleaner so far. Ron Morris Jr. on the outside. He's not going to have any help right now. And I think with seeing how desperate Matthew is trying to get down there, it's a signal to a lot of these guys that that inside is going to be pretty dominant. And you see cars just going by Ron Morris right now. Everybody is wide open. And they are all pretty much in the same gear. In fact, we'll pull up the dashboard for you here on the bottom right. Take a look at it. These guys are averaging about 100 to 105 miles an hour throughout the whole track. But it looks like the 73 Chris Franz is leading the way. Dakota Bro is right on his back bumper though right now, not letting him go anywhere. And he's actually, looks like maybe even pushing a little bit. I want to go right on board here, see if we can get a view of what this looks like from Dakota. And sure enough, I mean, you see it here. He's sitting in the draft, pushing Chris Franz in the 73, and that's pretty cool. Chris Franz is going to have to hold on right here. I don't know how well these things can push in the corner. Again, this is a little bit of uncharted territory. We're not used to seeing the legends here at Bristol, but so far, entertaining race. So we got one spun out back. A couple now are going to go around. Looks like Ron Morris Jr. might be involved in this one. No caution yet. Now it flies. As Ron Morris Jr. gets it pointed back in the right direction. I'm not sure if he actually made contact with anything, so he might be okay. But 10 laps in, your second caution does fly. Let's take a look at what brought it out. And let's zoom in here. We'll go to, I saw Ron Morris involved in it, so let's actually go to Ron here. He was running pretty close to the front. And not anymore, of course, but you see at this point he has already spun, and it looks like he did back it into the wall at least a little bit. Did he get turned? No, so this is actually going to happen in front of him here. But who had initially started? What we're going to do here is go to TV3 so we can get a view of it. Oh, it's going to be the 52. And that may have been the guy running second, actually. I believe it was. Yep, sure enough, Dakota Bro. And he just hit the apron, honestly, and I mean, it's a pretty abrasive transition. He might have been trying to get under the 73 here. That's what it looks like. He's going to try to get under. Your leader gets on the apron and unfortunately spins around on him. And then Ron Morris Jr. not really anywhere to go. He is also going to get himself involved in this. Back it up. Ron is already in the wall here. Back it up a little bit more. Good news here for Ron is that he didn't go flying in, but slammed on the brakes, and that thing probably came around, or he actually got tagged from behind. I take that back, by the 14, who couldn't get checked up quite in time. That is John Barry. Nothing intentional there, but let's take a ride on board with Dakota here and see just if that was the case here. Just got maybe a little bit too aggressive trying to get all the way on that apron, and this will be our final view of it right here. And you see ahead, of course, we're not riding on board with Dakota. I wanted to ride out back, but actually I think we should ride on board with Dakota here. He should give us the best view of it. Back this up a little more. I'll tell you what, he did get a pretty good save overall, though, here. And watch here. Yep, you hear it just kind of slowly comes around, eventually comes around. Wow, heck of a save, though. Keep that thing pointed in the right direction. Nobody else gets into him. So that'll work out for the best. Jesse Fox in the 20 goes by. Let's go back live and check on your top 5. It looks like it is still Chris Franz leading the way. He has led them all so far. Hunter Terpstra is second. Dominic Rossi third. It's going to be John Barry now up to 4th. And Jesse Fox up 5 spots from where he started, rounding out the top 5. And if we zoom in here, we'll see if we got the 1 to go signal this time or not. And it looks like the lights are still on, so we're not going green this time. And sure enough, these guys all still stay in single file. And the more cautions we have, the less green flag stops we will see. But, well, we had some racing there. It looked pretty interesting. You see, it looked to be really hard. You can't really make a move on the outside unless you can get some help, which we might see later on in the night. But right now, everybody committed to that inside. And because of that, the only move Dakota really had to make was to try to jump to the inside of Chris. But unfortunately, that didn't work out too well. So guys, going to take note of that and make sure that if they try to go low, they don't get on that apron. You don't want to spin out here and have to waste a fast repair early. And there we go, 1 to go signal this time. We'll see what Hunter can do from that outside line. Ron Morris Jr., who fell back a bit, we'll see if he can make his way up here. And your season champ, Matthew Boniface, who, by the way, won 7 races. I know we had noted that, but just think about that. 7 races. is back out in the back row right now, but not the last car. He is going to still have a lot of work ahead of him if he wants to get all the way back to the front. He's got Jack a couple spots in front of him. Ron Blackwell, all those guys going to be scurrying to try to get to the front as soon as possible. But here we go. Pace truck pulls off, and we are back green here at Bristol. Good starts, man. A lot of checkups tonight. A lot of these guys really struggling to get through the gears, and 3 wide further back. Everybody's going to keep it clean. But you see just how much momentum that top line loses in a hurry. Gonna have to really get a lot of guys lined up. A little bit of bumping going on back here between Hunter and Dominic, but everybody a single file by the time we work our way out of turn 4 for the first time here on this restart. And that 42 is now going to try to get all the way back up to the back bumper, the 73. And what line do you run here? Do you try a little bit of an arc, or do you just try to run right in that guy's draft around the whole track? And I mean, you see he continues to close the distance in the 42, but it looks like he's running just a little bit lower. Be interesting to see if these guys start to get maybe just a little bit tight as the run goes on, as we look a little further back. Nobody really making a pass just yet. As the further back you go in the pack, it looks like the more separation there is. There's Matthew Boniface. He's got Jack behind him, and Herschel Lawrence looks like maybe struggling a little bit right now in that 46 machine. And we have already completed 20 laps, so we got one going up the track a little bit, and that is going to be the 14. John Barry was able to hold on to it. It's going to try to come back down. Oh, he's going to get into some contact with the 17. Now he gets tagged out back. Oh, man, they all hold on to it. That got a little close for a second. And it is going to be Ron Blackwell that's trying to get around Douglas Fisher in the 61 machine. And it was, of course, Douglas that just gave that shot to the 14. But I know I thought that it kind of seemed like, you know, from the beginning, but this is part of that Bristol effect. Oh, hold on just a second. We had one further back spinning. We got another one spinning out here on track. Oh, he is flipping. That is the 55. No caution yet of Jack. Now the caution flies. And on the front straightaway, we have a 3-car incident to bring out your 3rd caution here of the night. Oh, man. And this view, we already have him, of course, right. Got to back it up just a little bit. See, this kind of had started ahead and then worked its way back here, and it looks like the 27 of Ron Blackwell, who is going to be the first spinner right here. Play it slow for you. And is he going to get some help right here? It looks like he is. Gets a bump from the 1 car, and that's going to send him around in that fireball paint scheme. And then slide back up here. You're going to have some guys that are going to try to dodge, and this is where we're going to see some more contact. There's Matthew Boniface. It looks like he jumps high. The 55 also jumps high. Fortunately, the 55 not quite able to get checked up in time. He gets into Matthew Boniface and then gets hit pretty hard by Herschel Lawrence. They both get up into the air. The 55 starts flipping here for a moment pretty wildly down the front stretch. Matthew Boniface, of course, riding along that outside wall. And the 27, maybe for the best that he spun down low. Because of that, he was able to avoid all this chaos and destruction that happened on the front stretch. But that is probably going to be potentially a fast spare for a couple of those guys. Not sure how much engine damage they got from the barrel rolls, but there you go. You see the caution fly, and I got a little nervous there because sometimes when that caution doesn't fly early, you get worried that you're going to have a couple more guys maybe get involved in the incident that wouldn't initially be in it. And let's take a ride on board here. Actually, let's take a ride from the pit lane here and watch it. This is the back stretch, so we're actually going to get up here to the front stretch. I do apologize for that. Get one more better angle of it here. And Jack's already upside down here, so we'll back it up a little bit more for you. Try to avoid it, and if you think we are not going fast here at Bristol, that is all you need to see. Let's go back live and up front, where your current leader is now going to be Dominic Rossi. And I think we have finally seen some pit stops. Sure enough, you see certain guys still coming out of pits. And one of those guys is going to be Chris Franz in the 73 machine, who had led all of them up to the point where he pitted. And this shakes up top 5 just a little bit. It's going to be Dominic Rossi leading Jesse Fox up 8 spots. He is now in 2nd. Hunter Terpstra is going to actually fall back. He is in pit road. So that puts Mark Smith 3rd, Ron Blackwell 4th. And it looks like it is going to hand it over to Chris Franz for that final top 5 position. Already 1/3 of the way through here at Bristol, and it's been a little messy so far, but you kind of can expect that sometimes at Bristol. And then once you add in the factor of the draft and bumping, then it just makes things a lot more chaotic. But so far, pretty good racing overall when we've seen it. And let's see if we can pull up one of these guys to the booth. Let's pull up Jesse and see if we can get a quick word with him here before we go green. Hey, Jesse, it's Austin up here in the booth. You got a copy? See if we can dial him up one more time here. I think I just heard him, but Jesse, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, well, first of all, man, we're out here at Bristol, the All-Star race, last race of the season. Tell us how you're feeling out here.
This might be one of the tightest races we've had. We've had a lot of larger tracks where we get spread out, a lot of short ones where we get bunched up, but we are tight down here.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll let you get to this restart real quick, and then we'll ask you another question. So I will leave you in here for just a sec, and we'll talk to you in a lap or two. And we're going to let Jesse get this restart done real quick before we continue talking to him. But he is going to be starting on that outside row, first row, in fact, and he's going to see if he can get the best of Dominic Rossi. More checkups further out back, and he is going to have to try to find him spot a self in line. No help out back as he awaits Ron Blackwell. And he is a couple car lengths back right now. The inside just continues to scoot by, shown to be the dominant line, and Jesse looking to get in line. And as they have now kind of all got it sorted out, once we can see him potentially drop down the line here is when we'll talk to him again. 28 now of the 75 laps completed so far here at Bristol. And that is Ron Morris Jr. He's had a nice recovery so far. We saw him get caught up in an incident earlier, but making his way back to the front. It looks like the 20 is finally going to find a spot to slide in line. We'll continue to talk to him. Jesse, I want to ask you real quick. Oh, hold on. We got one spun out back. That is going to be the 27, Ron Blackwell. No caution just yet. And he may have kept it off the track. The 52 is also involved. That's Dakota. And no caution this time. So going back up front, Jesse, I was going to just say, we are seeing a lot of craziness this race so far. So what's the game plan here at this point?
It looks like stay on the inside for sure.
I mean, caution is out. This is the fourth caution of the night. But if you get the lead, are you thinking about, you don't have to do any blocking on that outside, or is there just no chance that that outside is going to be able to get going tonight?
I think it's going to depend on if that outside pitted or not. The tires do seem to be wearing a little bit, so the faster tires are going to be on the guys who pit.
All right, well, last thing before we let you go here is, looks like you got a lot of fans out there cheering for you tonight. Is there anybody you want to give a quick shout out to?
I would be amiss if I didn't say hi, Stephanie. Hi, honey.
All right, cool. We'll let you get back to it. Thank you for joining us up here for a couple moments and a couple laps, and hopefully we see you in victory lane at the end of this thing.
Thank you, sir.
That was Jesse Fox, who we saw start on the first row, but you saw how many spots he fell back because of all that. And it's a little bit of a different race here for me to commentate because we haven't really had time to get things cleaned up enough to really have, you know, we tried to get an interview there with Jesse, but of course we did kind of run out of time, gave him a chance, but just so much action going on out on track. Guys just not really able to keep it green here for too long. I'm not sure if maybe those two fast pairs are making these guys extra aggressive or what, but Dominic Rossi is going to be leading the way here on lap 32. Chris Franz second, Eric Sellers third, fourth, Ron Morse Jr., Jesse Fox sliding in that final top 5 spot. John Berry sixth, Jack seventh, Matthew Boniface up to 8th now. It's going to be Patrick Pruitt in 9th, Fish 10th, 11th, Timothy Martin, Dakota in 12th, Hunter Terpstra in 13th, Ron Blackwell 14th on pit road along with Mark Smith, Douglas Fisher out on track in 16th, and Herschel Lawrence. Looks like he may have retired for the night. He did have 2 fast pairs, but not sure if he used them all here or what. We'll have to see as it goes on, but looks like Nick Fisher is currently, or sorry, Douglas Fisher, excuse me, is currently sitting 3 laps down, so he is going to need a couple more cautions right now to have a chance, as it looks like Big Bob Gaming says, woo, let's go, guys, and let's go, Sellers. We got another Jesse Fox fan in here. That's going to be Elijah Miller. Getting ready to go green again this time. Jesse told us that inside is going to be the dominant line, so we'll see. But he said if we get to a point here where we have a green flag stop, or if tires in general become an issue, these guys run long enough, and then you have somebody on that outside lane on new tires, maybe they can make it work. We'll have to see, but here we go. Pace truck pulls off, and green flag is back in the air. And the 42, Dominic Rossi, down low, is going to take the lead away from Chris Franz, your pole sitter tonight. And looks like Eric Sellers is also going to be able to sneak by the 73, and he is going to go all the way to the back of this train unless he can find a spot in line, which he's going to try to do as quick as possible. And the spotter, of course, the game spotter, try to get these guys to get down as soon as they can, but that train continues to come. It looks like that is going to be Herschel Lawrence. Was able to use his fast spare. He must have just had the tow because he is now back out on track. And here's the guys from the static view coming at you about 100 miles an hour around this high banked short track half mile. And the field a little bit more organized this time. Kind of see two lanes a little bit longer than what it's been most of the night. Oh, I'm hearing a little wall contact out back. Oh, we got another one spun around. Oh, we got one flipping on the back. Caution is out again for the 5th time, and this is going to be a much bigger one this time. It looks like, man, this one collected a ton of guys. Fish is still on his roof trying desperately to get that thing back going the right way, and somehow it's driving on its side as he backs it into the barrels, and he is going to sure enough have to tow it. Let's go take a look at it. And wow, we already had contact back here. A couple guys just that have been involved in these incidents over and over, just really struggling, I guess, here tonight. Let's see how this is going to start. I believe it's going to start somewhere up a little farther with, is it the 20 maybe of Jesse Fox? Oh, sure enough, him and Matthew Boniface are going to make contact. Not sure how the contact initially started here. Let's take a look from the chopper view. And, ooh, looked like Matthew Boniface maybe was trying to slide down in line. Jesse was kind of there. Not really either of them doing too much, but they make contact. Looked like Boniface may have saved it, but then Jesse's going to get tagged from behind. Up into the wall goes a couple of them, and we had a couple get upside down. Jesse almost got upside down, but didn't quite. And then here you see the rest of these guys. Fish is going to get tagged a couple of times. 55, that's Jack. Matthew Boniface in it, nowhere to go. And it looks like Hunter as well, also upside down. We'll take one more view of it here. And there you go. And these things flip pretty easy. And wow, those were some big, big hits. We got guys piling in after the fact. And I'll tell you what, I think Douglas Fisher cannot tell you the amount of times he must have flipped during that wreck. Let's go live up front. Eric Sellers now leading the way with Ron Morris Jr. in second. Third is going to be John Berry. Fourth, Dakota Bro. Fifth is going to be Timmy Martin. Let's go back to your top 10. Ron Blackwell, 6th. Chris Fran, 7th on pits. Jack is also in pits in 8th and 9th. Dominic Rossi and Mark Smith currently rounding out that top 10. A lot of the, I'll tell you what, I really didn't think that two faster pairs would, that I'd be here saying some of these guys may end up retiring early from the race, but now I'm starting to think that here. I mean, with the amount of wrecks that we've had so far, and a lot of guys, it's not been light wrecks. When they wreck, they have been wrecking hard, so you can guarantee just about everyone that's been in a wreck so far has had to use at least one fast pair, a couple of them too. And it looks like we had Jesse Becker say, such beautiful carnage. Big Bob Gaming said, what a wreck. Jesse Becker says, rip Hunter. Big Bob Gaming says, hope the driver's okay. I can confirm that they all did walk away from their cars and got back in them, and they're back out here to do it again. And we should be getting the one to go signal next time. We are over halfway here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and I don't think I could really pick a winner right now because we have seen so many lead changes so far. A lot of wrecks, and right now we only have 10 cars on the lead lap. Douglas Fisher, the first one a lap down, would get the lucky dog if we were to get another caution. And sure enough, the lights are off. One to go signal this time, and I got to think at this point, if you're Douglas Fisher, the only man you're really fighting is Jesse Fox, who is also a lap down. And that would be for the lucky dog position. But if you're anybody else, I think with the chaos we've seen so far, you just try to stay back and stay out of it. Maybe you get a chance to get back up here and get in it if you get yourself a couple wave rounds or a couple lucky dogs, depending. And thank everybody that's tuning in so far here tonight. A little bit of a last-minute broadcast here. We're hell for leather, but excited to be here nonetheless. And these guys are putting on a show, to say the least. Hopefully we can get some green racing in here. Some side-by-side. Ron Morris Jr. leading the outside, but that inside has been so dominant, nobody's really been able to keep up with it. And green flag is back out. Let's ride on board here. A little bit further back with Dakota, who has made his way back up here after being involved in a wreck earlier. And if he can give Ron Morris Jr. a push, it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. The 14, John Berry, is blinking on the inside. But it looks like the inside does continue to prevail here. 42 laps in. Oh, we got contact further out back. They're wrecking again. This time they keep it off the track, at least for now. We'll see if that can stay that way. The 42 is in it. Dominic Rossi, he was having a good night. It looked like Chris Franz as well. Caution is out for the 6th time here tonight. And at this point, we're starting to potentially get closer to more caution laps than we have green flag laps. But everybody going for every inch, that's kind of what you get here when you have an all-star race. Everybody wanting that win, and they are certainly not shying away from contact in the pursuit of it. Let's see how this starts. Like I said, it was only a 2-car incident. This was probably one of the not so, I guess if, like I was just talking about earlier, when they've wrecked tonight, they've wrecked hard. Not the case really here. The 55 gets into the back of the 42. There was a little bit of a checkup. The 42 gets into 73, and eventually that stack up is going to send the 73 and the 42 around here. And I know there was some wall contact here for the 73, locks it down. Yep, going to make decent wall contact. The 42, on the other hand, wow, keeps it out of the wall, does back it in a little bit to Chris Franz, but how did he not hit the wall there? That was pretty incredible stuff. Take another look at it here. Oh my goodness. Back this up a little more. And you'll see the stack-up effect. Boom, boom, right here. Locks it down, and oh my goodness, somehow did not quite hit the inside wall, but that contact in the rear, don't know if that's enough where he's going to have to worry about taking a fast repair or not. The thing that hurts a lot of these guys here at Bristol, about even if they don't have that much damage, is the caution laps are just so short. And so unfortunately they can't really come down and repair damage, or else they put themselves in danger of going a lap down. And it looks like this should give Douglas Fisher lucky dog spot, so he is back on the lead lap. That puts 11 on the lead lap with Jesse Fox now the first car a lap down, and Mark Vondel rooting on his McCall Motorsports teammate Ron Morris Jr., who currently sits in that 3rd position. And Big Bob Gaming says caution breeds cautions, and I certainly would agree with that. Mark says great job, Austin, buddy. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate the support. Eric Sellers still leading the way. John Berry 2nd. Ron Morris Jr. rounding out that final podium spot with Dakota in 4th. And Timmy Martin rounding out the top 5. I'd like to get another word with one of these guys, but they seem pretty focused there. I kind of felt like maybe I interrupted Jesse there, and I certainly didn't want to do that. I think maybe we should have just let him go, but it looks like the lights are going to stay on, so we'll see if we can maybe pull up somebody else here real quick and get a quick word with them about the chaotic nature of the race so far tonight. In fact, if Ron Morris Jr. is in here, I'd like to bring him up, but it doesn't look like he is. And with that, we're not going to be able to get a word with him. How about, see who we can find here. Eric Sellers, current leader. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Hey, Eric, this is Austin up in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, I mean, man, it's been absolute chaos out there. Survival of the fittest. What's the game plan here going forward? Do you try to keep the track position, or do you have to pit later?
Yeah, I'm taking track position here. We've had several cautions, so I don't think my tires are too bad based on what I found out in the last pit stop. So I'm definitely staying out.
And we talked to Jesse about this a little bit. I want to ask you too, is there any thought maybe later in the race of having to go up top and maybe block that high lane, or is the bottom just going to be the dominant lane for the rest of the night?
Yeah, in my opinion, it's the bottom. That's where I'm going to try to stay.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us. We'll put you back with your team, and hopefully we can see you in victory lane as well.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
And we will see if we can put him back. There we go. We have slid him back in his Discord. Here we go back into the Geico restart zone for the 7th time. Green flag is back in the air. And the more cars we eliminate, you're almost forcing these guys to have to go green because there's not going to be any more cars to wreck. But here we go, the 14. Oh, he's trying to slide in line. He's not quite going to get clear. That is John Berry. But he's holding his own here down the backstretch into turn 3. Now Ron Morris Jr. is starting to prevail a little bit on that inside. And if he gets clear that 14, the 14 does get a little bit of help here from the 52. That is Dakota Bro. And he's going to try to get down. He's on the back bump of the 76. Oh, we got another one spinning out back. That's the 13. Timmy Martin. Hadn't talked too much about Timmy. He was having a good night. Goes around by himself on the apron. No caution. And back up front, your top 5 have all single filed out. 25 laps to go here. Bristol, now the 14 gets spun. That's John Berry. Oh, big wreck. We got one almost up in the catch fence. They are flipping everywhere. Caution is back out, the 42. Dominic Rossi is in this one as well. 7th caution of the night. Let's take a look back at it here. see where exactly this is going to start. Couldn't tell. And it looks like, well, this starts up with the 14 actually. This is going to be a couple of separate incidents, so I think I like this camera angle for it. I know it's going to be a little tough to see at first, but there's so much going on here. We'll zoom in on the first incident here, which did involve John Barry. And looks like this is going to kind of be another one of those stack-up deals. Playing slow here. Gets on the bumper, Ron Morris Jr., and then the 52 gets on him. That just is enough to send that 14 around. And he is going to slide back up the track here. The 27, nowhere to go. Same deal for the 42. Wow, did he go for a ride? And then you just got guys piling in here. The second incident was back here with Jesse Fox. And unfortunately, you see he got pretty big damage from it. But let's back it up a little bit more here. And they're just going to slide in, nowhere to go. Looks like the 17 spins around. Oh my goodness. Jesse Fox up into the catch fence. Got stuck in there, in fact, so he couldn't even continue. Holy moly, Patrick Pruitt we saw involved in that as well. Looks like Fish. He got upside down as well. And oh my goodness, let's ride on board here with Jesse. That was a crazy, crazy ride. I don't think I've seen a car get up in the catch fence here at Bristol before. Here you go, get ready. This is going to get pretty wild. You see the 17 slide back up. He just had nowhere to go, unfortunately, here. Tries to get high, but right into him and almost got into the grandstands. And that is a pretty wild looking view. Not something you see all the time, but he is going to have to tow that. And you see they were still wrecking at the time of tow. But either way, brings out 7th caution of the night. 22 laps to go, so we're starting to slowly close in on the end of this thing. It looks like we are going to have to go around at least one more time before we take the green. Eric Sellers still leading the way. He said he wants the track position with as crazy as this race has been so far tonight. Ron Marsh Jr. second. Dakota is still sitting third. It's going to be Douglas Fisher fourth. Jack rounding out the top 5. Timmy Martin catching the field in 6th. We saw him spin by himself, but he stayed out of the worst of it probably. That may have worked out for him. Ron Blackwell 8th. John Barry 9th. And Dominic Rossi rounding out the top 10. But a lot of these guys are done. I mean, look at this. Only 6 cars still on the lead lap. And so right now, if you are on the lead lap, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself a good finish, almost a top 5 as it looks like. Jesse is in the chat. Let us know he landed in the fence. And Cotterman Racing Team says that's a tough break. Couldn't agree more, but pretty wild ride. Here we go. We should be getting the 1 to go signal this time. Sure enough, we do. Lights on the pace truck are off. That means we are getting ready to go back green. It will be a 19-lap shootout. We will see if we can hopefully go green the rest of the way from here. And I think the second car in line, I think you either want to be the leader or the second car on the inside, especially once we get to the end of this thing, because I just don't see that outside make and run, and none of these guys have had enough green flag laps to really work anything out to give it a try. And you know what I just kind of realized here, and I'm going to note it real quick, Eric Sellers and Douglas Fisher, I'm assuming those two are potentially teammates. Not sure, but they look like they're rocking the same paint scheme. Either way, here we go. We'll see if Eric Sellers can hold it out in front for 19 more laps. We are back green in the Hell for Leather Legend Series. Pretty good start again, but that outside continues to fall back, and Ron Morris Jr. looking for a spot in line. So is Douglas Fisher. And looks like they're not going to get it this time as they rock it down the backstretch. And with 19 laps to go, we're going to try to squeeze a quick crank it up in here. Here we go. Oh, never mind. Hold on. We got a couple more wrecking. 46 looked like he was in it. No caution yet. Trying to get back to it here. I believe that was Herschel Lawrence. Sure enough, he has stopped on the front stretch. Did everybody else keep it together further up? Looks like they did. 8th caution of the night. And this started a little bit further back. Actually, this one's on the straightaway. And, oh, no, this is going to start further up front, actually. Ron Morris Jr., it looks like. And let's go see what happened to the 76. Ooh, you got one on the apron there. That's the 55. That is Jack. He got on the apron here. And that's kind of sent him back up the track. Watch this. Just slight contact with the apron. Sends him up into the 76 of Ron Morris Jr. Then that hits him in the front. Ron sliding up. Does a pretty good job saving this thing. And let's see, is he going to get into the wall? Just a little Bristol kiss. Barely, if anything. But then right here, the 46 is not quite going to be able to sneak by. And that turns him into the outside wall. Luckily, it looks like everybody else was able to get by this time. The 46 decent little shot into that outside line. And the 13 as well is able to sneak by. Let's go back live up front. Eric Sellers still leading the way, 16 laps to go. Hopefully we can run the rest green from here. I keep saying that, must not be working. Try something else, as it looks like multi-demo 10 said Carl Edwards Jr. in the fence, joking about Jesse's ride into the catch fence, and it looks like Hunter Terpstra, who is actually in the race, says this is just getting sad. The 121 currently sitting not on the lead lap, in fact 4 laps down. 6 still on the lead lap. Ron Morris Jr. is in the pits. He should also be on the lead lap, which would make it 7. We will be trying to interview top 3 after the race. Once we get there, it's going to be what looks to be a 13-lap shootout now to finish this thing off. And I feel like these guys normally run probably a lot cleaner. Of course, this is my first broadcast, but you know, it's Bristol, which we talked about earlier. It's kind of acting like a mini Daytona or Talladega with these legend cars. It is the all-star race, last race of the season. Champion has already been crowned, so all these guys are going for make or break, and just kind of in the nature of the race, it's gotten really messy, but we'll see if we can finish this off. We could still have a great finish nonetheless. And a quick reminder that after this race at Ghost Racing Network, we do head over to Ron Morris Jr. Racing, who is actually in the race right now for his Tuesday Night Thunder Series. And if any of the drivers out here watching, you can get in on that. It is money racing, so there will be a top 5 payout, and it is going to be at Talladega Super Speedway in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We've been sticking with that series, and it's been good racing just about week in and week out, so we're excited to go over to a race. Should be starting around 10:15. Make sure you don't miss out. But before we get anywhere else, we got to finish our business here at Bristol. Lights should be going off this time. Can Eric Seller hold that lead for what is going to be 12 laps to go? Actually, I thought it would be 13, but no, it's going to be a 12-lap shootout as the lights are off. That outside line is going to line up. Not a lot of guys to line up on the outside, though, because a lot of guys are a lap down, and it looks like Ron Blackwell is going to be that last car on the lead lap with another Ron Morris Jr. just in front of him. Chris Franz 1 lap down in 8th, and he is going to be fighting a couple guys for the Lucky Dogs. It looks like Rossi, Berry are also on that lead lap. And then after that, you got guys that are 4 laps down and greater. But just about everybody is still out on track trying anyway, so they must be enjoying the race. And nonetheless, Matthew Boniface is the only driver that has retired. Your champ, we did talk to him before the race, but here we go up front. Dakota Bro, can he do something on the outside? Eric Sellers still on the inside. We're back green at Bristol. And actually, the 52 gets a good jump. Oh, man, I know he probably wanted to get clear. Looks like Douglas Fisher was able to drop down to the inside line. That is going to leave Dakota with no help right now on the outside. Further back, we got guys looking to jump to the outside. In fact, the 121 is one of those back out of turn 4 for the first time here, back under green. It looks like the outside must be working. I'm not sure if this is a tire strategy, but he is going to get in front of Eric Seller. New leader is going to be Dakota Bro. I did not expect that. And now he's going to line up, and the question is, can Eric Sellers get in the draft and have a chance to make another move on him further back? The 55 Jack is pushing on the back bumper of Douglas Fisher, and now he looks to dive to the inside. They thought about 3 wide, but here comes the 13 of Timmy Martin. One of those guys on the lead lap, continuing to make his way through the field, but up front, Dakota is actually starting to pull away right here, so those new tires must have something to it. And right now, Eric Seller is probably hoping for one more caution. Maybe he goes in and pits and gives himself a chance. I was surprised to see how much progress that outside made right there, but we talked to Jesse earlier. He said there was a chance, new tires to old tires, that outside could start to find some speed further back. The battle right now is currently between Jack and Douglas Fisher, but Jack's going to get the best of him as the 14 is also going to go by. That's John Berry. And the 13 got held up a little bit on the outside. He is going to try to get around, maybe on the inside if it opens up. Ooh, John Berry blinking a little bit, but up front, Dakota Bro still leading the way. Is there enough time for those tires to wear out and potentially Eric Seller to catch back up? And will we see anybody else make their way up here? This might be the longest green flag run we've seen so far. They're going to go 3 wide, though, right here. This is going to get a little dicey. The 42 gets onto the apron. He is going to have to give that position up. Couldn't quite hold it down there. And further back, everybody kind of starting to sort it out now. And up front, it's going to be 5 laps to go once he hits the line this time. I'll tell you what, that 55, Jack, he has a lot of speed. If he can get away up here, he is going to try to push Eric Seller up there, at least for now. And I don't know how long he can wait behind, or if Eric has enough speed A little bit of impatience there. The 13, sorry, that's the 14 actually. If John Barry got right to the back bumper of Jack. And John Barry is 1 lap down, so he is fighting for that lucky dog position. He is fighting Chris Franz, who is back a couple more spots. This is what we came to see here all night. These guys further back are really battling out, but they're keeping it clean right now. And with just 4 laps to go, that's not a long way. I think at this point, Dakota has it all but wrapped up. Bearing no caution. If we take the white flag, it'll be over. And just as I say that, we got a spinner. Back up the track. Huge hit. This is going to bring the caution back out. Sure enough, there it is. And oh my goodness, the 13. Huge hit. Oh, he gets hit again by Herschel Lawrence. More contact. Ron Morris Jr. put him back on all 4. And that is not, and I tell you, not what the leader wanted to see. He had this thing just about wrapped up. But now he's going to have to hold off some guys that might go and take some tires here. But let's take a look at this crash. It was a pretty wild one. And I think it's going to start with the 73 here of Chris Franz. And we had just commented on the clean racing because we had went more than a few laps under green. But here we go. Oh, this starts further up, and that is going to be Eric Sellers. Oh, man, he was having a pretty good run. Not sure if he got turned or what, so let's hold this up for a second so we can actually find out whether or not he got turned in this, or if it was just a thing coming around by itself. He might have been trying to make a move here. Well, we saw this earlier. I'll tell you what. Watch this. I think he's trying to make a move here on the 55. Gets in on the apron and just can't quite get off of it. That spins him around. Maybe a little net code there between him and the 14, and then they just come flying in here. The 13, nowhere to go. That's Timmy Martin. A lot of these guys just flying on in. Oh my goodness, the 46. Back this up and give you that bigger shot at it so we can see some of these guys. Well, I mean, watch some of the hits that these guys take right here. This was pretty wild. So 13 once comes back up, and there were some guys that I'm convinced did not ever really let off here. Oh man, I think that was Fish. It just snuck by there. But the 13 takes a big hit. I believe that might be the 121 as well. Can't tell because he's on his roof right now. Ron Morris Jr., he flips around a couple times. There's Chris France upside down as well. Actually, Eric Sellers, excuse me. And some airtime for the 13 as he gets back on all 4 finally. And here you go, Herschel Lawrence. He's not done yet. He's going to come flying in here and tag the 13 for one more flip. And we have got to ride on board with him at this point because, I mean, my goodness. Oh, in fact, you know, I'll tell you what. I just realized this race is official. It's over. It is over, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner of the Bristol All-Star Race is Dakota Bro in the 52 machine. Let's talk about it in just a sec. Actually, you know what? Let's look at this wreck one more time, and I'll explain to you why this race is over in just a sec. But like I said, we have got to take a view here because this was a crazy flip for the 13. I mean, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Here we go. Wow. And that might get you a little dizzy watching it. And here you go. He's not done yet. He's going to get one more tag from the 46. Well, I want to show you here this white flag. Well, the white flag lap, if you will, but the race did end under caution. We did not have any green-white checkers. I did mean to note that in your race info. But with that, sure enough, the race ends under caution. And here he is on the white flag lap. Dakota Bro wins it. And we'll show him taking the checkered. See if he decided to do any burnouts here. Coming out of turn 4. And we are going to go see if we can get you top 3 in the booth. Looks like the guys in the chat were still enjoying it. Bill Miller, that I believe, yep, Bill, good to see you in here. That is the owner of Wotel. Puts on some great Friday asphalt races. I've been in a couple of those. Make sure you go check it out. Jesse Fox says, absolutely great broadcast. Appreciate it. Jesse Cotterman iRacing says, agreed. And Jesse said, that was insane. So much fun. The fireworks, hear him in the background, going off at Bristol. And the man that won it is going to be the man that is the happiest. 52 is going to go around. Let's see if he does some burnouts here. But one more time, your winner, the Bristol All-Star Race for the Hell for Leather Legend Series is going to be Dakota Bro in the 52. Let's go see if we can drag some of these guys in for interviews right here. All right, welcome back here. We do have your top 3 in the booth, so let's start. Let's get to your actual results here so that you can read that while we're interviewing. But let's start with third place finisher, Douglas Fisher. Douglas, you got a copy? And I know he was in here. Maybe not able to get in contact with him right now. Oh, looks like he actually hopped out. So he must not have liked me too much. Let's try, see if we can maybe find him here one more time. And I'm not sure where he went. Looks like he has left the booth. So we will go ahead and move on to your second place finisher. And that is going to be Jack. Jack, you got a copy?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, first of all, man, that was an absolutely crazy race. So I feel like it's got to kind of feel like a win to come home second. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, I mean, this is my first time running the Legends, so I feel like second place is pretty good. Just trying to avoid wrecks, and it's pretty hard to do that when you're not exactly sure how your brakes are going to react and everything. I was caught up in a couple, but I think I was only the cause of the one. Just kind of got loose in the corner there, but it feels pretty good to come home second. I mean, I had enough to make it up to Dakota, I think, maybe, but we got cut short there.
Well, I was going to say, man, for your first race, that's an excellent finish. Before we let you go, though, is there anyone you would like to thank or shout out tonight?
I just want to thank Cam Kings for letting me come on the team this year, and remember Dave. We miss him dearly, and I don't know where Ron went, but we miss him dearly.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That is your second place finisher, Jack, in the 55 car. And now we move on to your winner, and that's going to be Dakota Bro. Dakota, you got a copy?
Gotcha, man.
Well, heck of a win there. It looked like maybe you had better tires. You were the only car all night that I saw make the outside work. How'd you get the win there how'd you get the lead rather there towards the end so that you could win it when the caution came out?
Man, the thing was timing that light. When the drop of the green flag ran, I knew I had to be consistent on it. If I could beat Eric, I knew I could possibly have a chance at running the outside, and just kind of, I hate saying it, pinch him low, and I mean, give him enough room without wrecking him, and I did just that, and he had to lift a little bit, and it gave me that little bit of edge, just squeezed by, and after that, I just held it to the floor and wasn't hoping for any trouble.
All right, well, it was a dominating win there, at least towards the end, man. I'll tell you what, congrats on it because it was a crazy race. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Fish over with Admin Boxx and everything he does, and our group of guys, Eric, Douglas. I mean, there's a whole fleet of us, and I couldn't really do it without them. They're my weekly buddies.
All right, well, congratulations on your win in the last race of the season. First place finisher, Dakota Bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, and looks like that's going to round it out because unfortunately I don't see Douglas Fisher out here, so let's get right to your race results. We just talked to your race winner. That was Dakota Bro. Second was Jack. Third, Douglas Fisher. Fourth, Eric Sellers. Fifth, Ron Morris Jr. Sixth, Dominic Rossi. Seventh, John Berry. Eighth, Chris Franz. Ninth, Timmy Martin. 10th is going to be Hunter Terpstra. 10th is Hunter Terpstra. 11th is going to be Herschel Lawrence. 12th, Ron Blackwell. 13th, Mark Smith. 14th, Fish. 15th, Jesse Fox. 16th is going to be Patrick Pruitt. 17th, last season's champ, Matthew Boniface, did round out the field tonight. He did have to retire pretty early. It was a crazy race, but it was a fun one. Everybody seemed to be enjoying it. And speaking of enjoying it, I hope everybody out there did enjoy it. If you like what you saw, make sure you leave us a like or comment. It certainly means a lot. We'll see everybody next time. Don't forget, after this, we head over to Ron Morris Racing for Tuesday Night Thunder at Talladega Super Speedway. Look to see everyone then. Till next time, have a good one.